So today we're talking about the Light Phone 3 and more importantly, what is on my Light Phone 3. Now, if you've never heard of this phone before, quick rundown. The Light Phone 3 is what would be categorized as a minimal phone. This phone is meant to help you reduce screen time and keep it light. But outside of the software, the hardware of this device is actually very, very cool. It is rocking a 3.92-inch matte AMOLED display with a USB-C 2, unfortunately, on the bottom, as well as Bluetooth 5.0, 1800 milliamp hour battery, Qualcomm SM4450, IP54 water rating. It has 128 gigs of storage, 6 gigs of RAM. It has a fingerprint sensor, which isn't enabled in the normal Light OS yet. But then it also has a 50 megapixel rear shooting camera as well as a 8 megapixel front facing camera for all your selfies and whatnot. But let's be honest, you're not buying this phone with the intention of getting a high-end flagship device. You're getting this to help reduce the time you spend on your phone in general. Alright, so now that we have basically all the basics and specifications out of the way, now we're going to go in and see exactly what's going on inside of my Light Phone 3. Okay, so I wanted to kind of go over exactly what I got going on in here. So, we're going to start with the back of the phone, actually. So the back of the phone, I actually have a brown leather D-brand skin that I got because I really like the leather aesthetic, as well as an iAudi MagSafe ring here on the back, which lets me just use MagSafe compatible accessories like this wallet here. So as you can see, I have this MagSafe wallet that I got from Amazon a while ago. It also works as a phone stand, but because of that, I'm able to just attach it here and use it like so. That way I'm able to use it as a phone stand, and it makes it super, super useful. So if you have any mounts, I usually always recommend grabbing something like this. That way, you don't lose any sort of accessorizing ability, but of course there is no wireless charging, so it won't wireless charge, but it'll at least let you mount it. Okay, so going to the front of the device now, we're actually going to show the lock screen I have here. I'm going to try to get my fingerprint wrong. As you can see, we have an Android looking lock screen here. We'll go over that a little later, but from there, I'm going to go ahead and put my finger up there. Boom! As you can see, we do have a notification, of course, but we have the main lock screen. Now, this is just the normal kind of home screen. We're going to press the home button, and then boom, we are now into the main menu, I guess, main home screen. As you can see, we have kind of the basic stuff on here. We have phone, music notes, timer, podcast directions, and then on the second page, we have alarm, album, camera, settings, calendar, calculator. These are all things I use probably at least once a day whenever I am using the device, so I always keep them on the front just because. And of course, we do have the camera. We can kind of touch on that a little bit. So if we click on camera here, the camera does show up. You see, it's not terrible. Let me grab that wallet again, actually. The camera isn't, I don't want to say it's terrible, but it's not great, you know? So, oh, maybe it'll focus. There we go. So it's not great. So, of course, you can press the camera shutter button, and then you just hold it down to focus, and then another button to press, and then boom, you take the photo. So it does work. You know, it is nice. I've taken pictures of my dogs, so it does, you know, it serves its purpose when it needs to. But most of the time, I usually will have access to another nicer camera on me anyways, so I just use that to take pictures if it's that important for pictures. And of course, you know, in music, I do like the stock music app that they do provide. Shout out to John Bellion and Sabrina Carpenter, who I've just been listening to on repeat. So, so I just use the normal music app for music. You just download it. You get all your purchased music, and you're able to just basically use their dashboard to put it onto the phone. And then, yeah. And then, of course, podcasts, basically the same thing. You put in the RSS feeds, and it lets you see the podcast you listen to. So shout out to them. But yeah, now we're going to get into a bit of the fun. So now, if we're actually, what we're going to do is we're going to double tap this dial here. And when we double tap this dial, it's going to load up, boom, another menu. Now, this menu is pretty interesting. It says iMessage. We'll go over that in a little bit. But as you see, it says iMessage, settings, key mapper, simple, Android or F-Droid, and Aurora Store. Now what this is if we hit settings, as you can see, we have the normal Android settings. So now that we have the normal Android settings on here, we can access basically any Android app we could want. And that's basically what we have done. We've enabled the bootloader and we have set the actual shortcut here to load into Android on the back end. That way we can access anything we need. So if we double tap this again, that way we're not locked down. Now this launcher I'm using, it looks exactly like LightOS. It is called Luma, and it is made by someone within the Lightphone community. They posted it on the GitHub on Discord, and they went ahead and dropped it in, and I downloaded it. This is the 1.1 update, I believe, but it does exactly what I need it to do. The launcher is very cool. I just need one page, of course. If you hold here, you can change it to be more than one page, you can have it be less than one page, and so on and so forth. It is a really nice launcher, so I would recommend. I can post the GitHub down below. I'll have all the important links and stuff down below in the description, so that way if you guys are interested in checking any of it out, please do so. But the one most important actual app here that we did install is called Keymapper, as you can see here. So if we click on Keymapper, it shows you kind of different triggers you can do that use the hardware buttons of the device to load into other apps and do certain things. So, for example, if I am here on the front screen and I want to go to Discord, I use Discord a lot for the Lightphone community as well as the other communities I am a part of, hence kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! So because of that, I also have another app I have filed here or set here on the side. So I'm going to double press the top volume button, and as you can see, it just loads up Discord. It loads up Discord. As you can see, we are in the introduction page of the Lightphone Discord. So as you can see, it loaded perfectly. The screen is in black and white, of course, as you guys can see that. We're going to hit General. This is just the general chat, and then we're going to hit O. Hit the home button. There you go. So we do have Keymapper basically unlocks the phone to do whatever you want it to do whenever you want it to do it. It's very, very cool. Middle button, we're going to double tap. In doing so, like I said, I do play Yu-Gi-Oh! As a side hobby. We're going to load up into the Neuron app. Now, I use this app a lot. If you guys are in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, you play, when we're going to download later. It's download later. As you can see, we have the life point tracker here. We have the card search, of course, so if you need to look something up while you're playing and whatnot, it's all here. I use this app quite a bit, so that's why I went ahead and set it here as my double tap. Now, if I hold down the home button, it's actually going to load into a PDF viewer or a ebook reader. So this is my second or third time going through Project Hail Mary. I just started it again. With the announcement of the movie, I really wanted to read it again. So this is now number 3, or maybe it's number 2, I don't remember. It's so good, would recommend. But that is what I have my hold button here as my middle button to load up my e-reader. So now we're going to go ahead and load up, let's say we load up, let's load up Discord, right? So we're here. And what we're going to do is we're going to hold down the volume down button for a long period of time, and it's going to go back. Now, there's no back button. There's no back gesture on this device at the moment. At least you could probably set one up. But for me, I don't have one, so I set the actual hold volume down button. If you hold and long press it, it'll actually just go back to whatever you were doing. It'll be treated as a back button would on Android. So I use that quite a bit, so if I hold it again, actually it might not. It just goes back home. Yeah, it just goes back home. So very cool. And then now, one of the coolest things easily is going to be double tapping the volume down button. It's going to be loading. Boom! iMessage. Now, as you can see, I do have a text from my wife, but we do have iMessage here. This iMessage works like perfectly. There's really nothing wrong with it. The only thing you can't do is tapbacks. Now, I could be missing a setting somewhere. I'm pretty sure you can enable that. Now, the app I use is called Blue Bubbles. There is another app called Open Bubbles that does have tapbacks, but I use Blue Bubbles. What it does is it's going to use a MacBook or something with Mac OS on it to host a server and then it doing that is going to take your iMessages and it's going to basically forward them to your device. I don't know the if, ands, or buts about it too much, but from what I understand, you're hosting a server, you're hosting an iMessage server, and it's just pushing the messages you're getting on your iMac to here, on your Mac OS to here. Now, I use iMessage for pretty much every single text message conversation I'm in, so and that's why I went ahead and got it installed here. It took a little bit to do, but it's fine. It works great. I don't really have any issues with it. If I need a text, I get it. As long as you have service and as long as the device you're hosting from has service, then you'll always get the text message, or the iMessage, I should say. So back to the home. Some other shortcuts are if I press up and down, it will screenshot as well. That's kind of the main one. On top of holding down the dial here while the phone is unlocked, you guys will see it here in a sec, boom, turns on the flashlight. So the flashlight's pretty nice, turns on the flashlight. As well as if let's say we go into music here, let's pull up Father Figure here. Volume is down, but if we go ahead and we scroll up here, scroll back down. So we did set the dial here to a volume up and volume down. Now it's only when the phone is unlocked, otherwise you still have to use the volume buttons here on the left and the right. But it's okay. So usually this is delegated to a brightness slider up and down, but I never use that. And usually when I'm listening to music, I'd like to do a quick volume up, volume down. So I went ahead and changed that to that option. So we're going to double tap, bring us right back here. The only other thing I have on here, so we went over key mapper settings, iMessage, of course. I have Simple, which is like a workout app. You can basically just create a workout. It is just super, super simple. And just kind of mark your stuff. So if I just bring this device here to the gym, I'm able to track what I'm doing. I don't always track what I'm doing, but I'll usually do it for a week or two. That way I have a simple plan to be able to go off of for the next couple weeks. On top of that, we have Froid. Froid is like an open source Android store, pretty much, Play Store. Because this device has no Google Play services, we're going to keep it as de-Googled as possible. And in doing so, we can't download Google Play apps. So we have to have alternatives. So if you're wanting more secure stuff, more privacy-focused things, F-Droid is the way to go. Whenever you do enable the Android side of this, it is, from what I understand, de-Googled, because there are no Play services, so you should be good there. On top of, if we go back here, we'll go to the Aurora store, which is just basically a copy, from what I understand, of the Play Store. So this is where I got Discord. Now, of course, you can install socials on here, but the goal of this phone is not to have any social media. So I don't have any, which is a huge plus. So we're going to double tap that, go back. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything. I want to make sure I didn't mess anything up. I didn't miss anything. So I did almost miss one thing, text and calls. So as you can see, I do have, under my phone option, I do have, it says wife, in parentheses, iPhone Kyle. That's me. Hello, it's me. But what I have it set up as is I have a setup on my iPhone. I can't show you because I'm recording on my iPhone. Where if I get a text message, what it'll do is it will, if it's from my wife, it'll take the text message and it'll forward it to this phone and text this phone what that text message said. Now, in doing so, I don't miss a text message from her because usually she's texting me something important. So I got to make sure I don't miss any text. So when I get a text, it just forwards it here. I do use Lightphone's Light service, so it is unlimited text and calling with a gig of data. Now, you actually don't use a lot of data. I don't use the hotspot on this guy, so I didn't need the unlimited plan. So this does have a different phone number from my main phone. Now, I also say main phone specifically. We'll get into that in just a sec. Otherwise, my phone calls, what I do is if I'm going to leave the house, I put call forwarding on my iPhone. So if anyone calls my main phone number, because no one really has my secondary number, what it'll do is it'll forward that phone call to this phone so I can just answer it here. So that way I don't miss anything. That way everything's perfect. And then in terms of iMessages, I will get the iMessage anyways. My wife does have iMessage, but just to be sure I don't miss anything, because you never know when a third-party app can stop working. I mean, you never know when the first-party app can stop working. So I have two backups to be able to get those text messages, which helps quite a bit. Now, I did mention that when I don't take my iPhone, this is more or less my companion device. So I do still main an iPhone 15 Pro Max. In doing so, if I'm going out, maybe even with friends, if I'm going out to dinner with my wife, what I do is I leave my iPhone at home. I know where I'm going if we're going out somewhere. So directions isn't really much of a worry for myself. So, and then if they are, she has her phone, of course, so we can use Apple Maps on her phone. But this is a unplug device. And what I mean by that is if there's a night out, like I was saying, or if there's a day I just want to unplug and I just don't want to have to worry about anything, then I will just take this guy with me. That said, I would love for the light phone to eventually become my main device. It would be awesome. It's already handling my calls, music notes, messaging, and then I think just with a few more tweaks, I think it could potentially replace it. It needs RCS. RCS does need to be enabled. I know they're working on that right now. That's a big one. I wish that this USB port here at the bottom had 3.0, and I do wish the device had a headphone jack. It could fit right there. Well, I mean, it might not be able to fit right there because obviously the speaker's right here. But yeah, man, they could have figured something out. They're pretty good at their job. So, headphone jack would have been cool, but I mean, I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I used wired headphones, maybe a few weeks ago. I mean, I used them for my computer, but not like on the go. So, yeah. It's not my main device, but it is my companion device, and I just wanted to show what I had on here just because I really do love this device. I think it's awesome. I think being able to take a step back when you're going out with family or friends and being able to really focus on the moment and what's going on is good. I have a really bad problem with always being on my phone, so I wanted to pick this guy up. Now, I did not pick this up from the Light Phone website. I did actually pick this up from someone on eBay who was selling it, who had pre-ordered it, didn't like it, so I went ahead and bought it from them. So I did not pay retail for it. I paid a little under, so that was pretty good on my side. That's pretty much it. So if you guys want to know anything else, you guys want to have any more questions, please feel free to let me know. I'm going to link everything down below with anything I used in terms of like video guides or Discords. So please feel free to check those out. Of course, the link's down below for the Luma launcher as well that I use here. But please let me know if you guys have any questions or if you want to see any more videos on the Light Phone. Until then, I will see you guys later. Keep it light.